What is going on? This is the live recording of episode 55 of the Client by Client podcast. No minute timer countdown. We're just going to hop in. We're going to get right into it. Today, we're talking about increasing your show up rate to your sales calls. So if this is your first time here, drop me a big old fat number 1 over in the chat. Would love to welcome you and say hi. If you tune into here and you're a repeat offender, drop me some emojis and let me know how things are going on your side. Let me know the highlights from your weekend. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the last episode of Client by Client, we talked about something important. This show is called Client by Client because it's my attempt to help you zoom in on the micro so that the macro of your coaching business can actually be possible. Too many of you have the inclination to start focusing on things downstream that we aren't ready for just yet. You get a client in, you want to go start doing paid ads. You get a client in, you want to invest in all the things in your business, and there goes your cash flow. So what we talked about is where your money's going to come from your next 3 clients. If you do not know right now where your next 3 clients are coming from, if you do not right now know where your first 3 clients are coming from, which for a lot of you guys, that's the same thing. It's important that you head back to episode 54 to understand how to think about this and how to go about this. I want you so zoomed in on optimizing the micro that you can stay in this business long enough to where everything you're wanting comes true. And until you dial in the one place your clients come from, that one social platform, and the one way you convert them into your program with your one offer and with your one goal and with your focus of 1 year and your focus of 1 hour a day, this is the process for making it happen. We cannot be focusing on the fun things of your online coaching business until you dial this in, until this gets through to you, until this hits home and you're only waking up thinking about these things. And when you do that, the cash reserves build. That makes available all the things you're wanting in your online business. You can take a breath. You can go and find the right coaching program to invest in. Maybe it's mine, maybe it's someone else's. That way we can help you to understand what to do next in order to grow your business by doing the right thing at the right time for enough time, and then building systems so that happens in and of itself. Head back to episode 54. I'm done berating that point so that you can understand where your next 3 clients are coming from. Today, we're talking about sales calls, and we're talking about something so very specific, but so important to actually getting your clients, which is making sure that they show up. I want for you to have the highest odds after you've gone through the hard work of making your lead magnets and creating conversations and turning those into leads and offering for them to come to a call with you and getting all jazzed up and blocking that off in your calendar. I want for them to actually show up. I want for you to have that at bat so that you can sign that next client, and then you can come back, you can let me know so that we can celebrate you and we'll share you in the story and we'll talk about what's next for you so you can continue making that happen and continue heading upwards and onwards with your online business. If you don't get today's episode right, 2 things really happen. The first thing is that your show up rates stay low, and so you go get on your sales calls, but you either have a no-show, someone who ghosts you and doesn't show up, or they show up, but they just don't take it serious. They aren't ready. They aren't prepared. They maybe show up a couple minutes late. They show up and just kind of start going into it, and they knock you off of your sales flow and off of your sales script. So the first thing that happens is your show up rates stay low. You go to get on the calls only to have someone show up late, not show up at all, or to not take it serious and not play full out. The second thing that happens is that you start exploring other strategies instead of getting your one funnel dialed in, is that you start looking at your numbers and how many clients you've had signed up. And what you don't look at is how many sales calls you booked and how many showed up. And so when you start to look at the downstream number of where your revenue is, instead of looking into what caused that revenue to happen or not to happen and dialing in these macro pieces, that's going to cause you to start exploring other options. You're going to start saying to yourself that you need more leads. You're going to start saying to yourself, I just need to be running ads. You're going to start saying to yourself, let me launch a podcast. Let me do a webinar. Let me do all of these things that will not help you get your next 3 clients by the end of this week, next week, or the following. And what winds up happening is that you go 30, 60, 90 days without a sign up. when you should have just been optimizing this one little piece, keeping your business intact and keeping the system as the system, and optimizing these pieces so that more prospects move through and more prospects get to the end of that sales call and become your client. That said, let's hop into these tips. Today, I have 5 of them for you for how to increase your show up rate. The first one is a little bit of a reminder because you may not have taken action on this the first or second time I mentioned it. But in order to get your prospects to actually show up to the sales calls, this is a temperature piece. A little bit of this, if not a big piece, is temperature. When they book the call, their temperature is getting hotter. So they're accelerating towards potentially the hottest point. What will get them to go back to colder is allowing for a lot of time to go by in between when they book the call and when that call actually takes place. So what ends up happening is, and I only know this, guys, because I go and I snoop, for lack of better words. I go and look at your setup whenever you come. When you add me as a friend, when we're in conversations, when you like on my stuff, when you request me as a friend on Facebook, I am in the habit of going and just seeing the setup real quick. I want to see your site. I want to see your social. I want to see your call booking. One, for maybe ideas. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need a little bit of a reminder. But oftentimes I find a lot of opportunities. And one of the biggest ones I find, and one of the biggest tells that you are below 15K a month, one of the biggest tells you're below 5K a month is when I go to your book a call. Number one, it's going to say discovery call. That's the first thing that we messed up, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But the second thing is that I'll go and pretend like I'm going to book a call, and I can book a call the whole month. So if I go in and it's the beginning of July, I can see all of July. If I'm going in and it's mid-June, I can see the whole month and beginning of July. And what happens is, as prospects, most of them are going to choose a later date because there are many things that can be the reason why, but the biggest subconscious one that they're not thinking, but that's leading their actions, because they know you're going to sell them. And sales aren't bad unless they can't see the value or understand the benefit of it. Unless you're the one that's really pushing for the sales call and they don't have that big of a pain, or you haven't discovered that big pain or problem that is necessary for your time and is necessary for them to show up and play full out. So the first thing you have to do is go into your Calendly, into your call booking software, whatever you're using, and don't allow people to book out longer than 72 hours. This is if you're doing a 1-call close, like when you book them, you're trying to sell them on that call, or if you're doing a 2-call close, same thing here. And if you're doing a 2-call close and you get to the end of that call, do not let people book out longer than 72 hours. So you have to keep your availability to 72 hours or less. For the 2 of you that are actually gonna go in your system right now and tweak this, that is a 5-figure difference for a lot of you monthly. This is the difference in between the few of you who actually go and implement this will have such different outcomes, even on the few sales calls that you might have. So a lot of this is working with what you got and getting more of what you got already. If you have your full month open and availability and going and turning this down to 72 hours, this is going to increase the odds that you get the client at the end, because they can remember why they booked. They can remember the problem that actually got them to have the conversation with you and go and do it. And they remember you and your name and your face in the interaction with them back and forth. And so this is going to cause for their problem to stay front of mind and not allow so much time and overthinking. Like, the reason a lot of you, and the reason why even I might not do any individual task on a day-to-day basis that we know we have to do, is because we overthink it. I've been watching one of the Arnold documentaries that's out. I think it's like the 4-part series right now. And he talks about like his routine. It's like, wake up, get on the bike, go to the gym. Don't think it. Don't overthink it, because the second you start thinking it, you think it into oblivion. So this happens with your prospects. When they book a call and they go and they choose next week or the week after, their problem is not hot enough. And even if it is, there will have enough time been gone by that will cause for them to go cold, to overthink it, and not show up. Keep your availability to 72 hours or less. Thing number 2, you have to make it sexy. What I'm not saying is make it clever. Let's not get my words confused here. You have to make your appointment flow, the name of it, and everything that comes with it sexy. A couple things that you need to do in order to do that. Again, you want to be clear, not clever. This should allow for them to know their problem and your call booking, your appointment schedule, your strategy call should be in direct alignment with helping them to solve it. For instance, if I am in the afternoon of my day and I want a little bit of an energy drink, and maybe I don't even know what the energy drinks are, but I'm looking around and I see 5 Hour Energy versus Monster, Red Bull, the others. Which one might I be inclined to go for? On one, I know exactly what I'm getting, 5 hours of energy. And on the other, I'm getting some branding. Now, the branding of those companies may have gone so far that, yeah, I want the Red Bull to give me wings, or I want to feel like a beast, so let me go and drink a Monster. But if I don't know, or if I'm saying, wow, I don't want to like have this whole thing, those cans, those energy drinks seems like a little bit hardcore. These 5 hour energies that are on the counter, I see other people grabbing them too. Let me grab one of those. They have a new nutrition bar, a new snack, new fucking snack. It's called the midday bar. When do you eat that? You eat that midday when you're looking for a little bit of a snack. When your prospects experience a problem and your call booking appointment system, the engine behind the call booking part of your business is labeled to help them to fix that problem, they're going to be way more inclined to take you up on that offer. So now the way I look at when we do sales calls, when we do offer these, the way I look at this is just you're putting a label on it. Yes, it's a sales call. Yes, it's a strategy call. Yes, it's a discovery call. But no one, like, that doesn't solve a problem. So instead, slap a different label on it, and you can change this label throughout the year to create different opportunities and to attack different problems your prospects are having, which is going to cause different hands of interest to be raised when you offer it and invite people to it. So in the past, I've called this a scale scan, not a sales call. Let's hop on and scan where scaling is being prohibited, and let's identify a 3-step plan to fix in order to allow for you to scale past 15K a month. You can call it something else. Let's say we use the example a lot of helping moms get their high school bodies back. Maybe you have the name of your appointment, something along the lines that matches that, like this is gonna suck, but like the 6-pack finder would be better than strategy call, would be better than sales call, would be better than discovery call. Or you could have your lose 5 pounds call, like something that's clear in the problem they're experiencing. If you help people who lack sleep, maybe you have something that's optimizing their day that helps for them to look into where they might be losing or exhibiting too much energy, depending the way you tackle it. So you help them to identify where they need to be adjusting things before you even talk about selling them. It's just to identify it. There are a lot of places who do a really good job of this. Plastic surgeons, law offices, even real estate agents, they will do things to create the consultation with them so that you are not thinking about spending money. You're thinking about this free thing that sounds like it's going to solve your direct problem. My coach always talks about this product in Australia that's called Start Your Bastard. And it's kind of like WD-40 here in the States. It's lubricant for machinery. And when you wake up in the morning and your wife is telling you to mow the grass or to cut the weeds, you go out there and you yank that lawnmower, it doesn't start. You just want the bastard to start. You head to the store. There's all of these options there. Which one are you going to grab? You're going to grab the one that catches you right out the gate, that talks about the problem, that sounds most like the thing. This is niche marketing. It's understanding what's going on in your prospect's mind and then mapping your business to it. No one wants to do another sales call. No one wants to come to that. No one wants to come to a strategy call. They already know what's on the other side. No one wants to come to a discovery call. It's no longer 2005 where these are new terms. Everyone's been conditioned to it. So when you get a little bit more creative and when you get a little bit more of your marketing hat on, think about what problems are going on in the mind of your target prospect and put that label directly on your appointment system. So they're not booking a sales call, strategy call, discovery call. They're booking a scale scan. They're booking a body builder program. Maybe it's where you identify what they're doing in their program. You'll look at their workout program and tell them where their biggest opportunities are, what things they can cut and what things they need to add. They're going to walk away knowing exactly what to do next in order to continue building. So a couple other things that you could do in order to make it sexy. Name is just one of them. You can also talk about the outcome. What are they going to leave with? What are they going to walk away with? You can build in some urgency. I don't do sales calls as like a normal thing that people can just book, but sometimes once or twice a year, we'll do a promotion that starts with an appointment. And what we'll do is we'll say we have a certain amount of slots, so we limit the slots, and then we also limit the days that we're doing them. So we're only doing it for the next 5 days. We're only doing it for this date on the calendar. So it creates some urgency. You can make a promise, like with the scale scan, we're going to look at your delivery, your lead flow, and your sales process, and we're going to find the biggest opportunities inside of there. And you're going to walk away with a 3-step plan. There's a little bit of a promise. And then if you really want to get creative, and guys, this is going up, all of these I'm saying beyond name are going above and beyond, which if you're hungry for the clients, it's a must it's an absolute must to do these things to stand out from the rest of the market, because your prospects are being conditioned by the other coaches and the other marketers in your space. So when you sound a little different and you focus on the pains and problems, you stand out. The next way, the last way here for making it sexy is bonuses. What can you take from your client delivery that's really good and really juicy and offer it to anybody who shows up for the call as a bonus, as a thank you? Can you put together a little package of 6, 7 worksheets for modules in your course? Maybe you don't include everything, but you take out the best parts and you put them in there for the people who book a call with you as a little bit of a bonus, and you only send it to them manually after they've come for their call, whether they join or not. Some people will book and show up and sign up for your program, and they just wanted the bonuses, but all the bonuses are in the program that they're paying for. Trust me, because they don't know these things, and you're not duping them or anything like that. But when they are focused on the problem, and so are you, they'll forget about the bonuses, and they'll just be ready for, wow, yeah, I just paid $7,000 for the thing, so screw the free stuff you got. I'm just going to zone in on this paid thing that I just invested in this coaching program. Thing number 2, you have to make it sexy. Clear works better than clever, so also keep it clear, but make it sexy. Put a name on it. Don't just call it a discovery call, an initial call, a consultation. You have to name it and be problem-oriented. This is also how you align yourself with other people's problems. And when you solve enough of everyone else's problems, money will not be an issue for you. That was said way better by Zig Ziglar and others, but I think you know what I'm getting at here. Third is about communication. You need to up your communication points with people who are booking a call with you. So when someone books, whether you drove that call booking and invited someone to it and like walked them, grabbed them by the hand, walked them home, tucked them in, make sure they were good to go, whether you drove it or it was booked of someone else's accord, you sent an email, a post, a Bluebird prospect just came your way, they just booked, you've never even talked to them, send them a message. And this works even better when they are warm and you are familiar with them, because then you can message them and be like, hey, like, yo, we were just talking the other day, it's kind of the context, just saw you booked a call, like that's exciting, what's going on? And now you're in a little bit of a conversation. So right when they book is a great time to message someone to start a little bit of a conversation and back and forth. If you've been messaging them in DM or Messenger or email, you now have their phone number, or you should send them a text. Switch up that form of communication so that now you're communicating with them in different channels, and you're starting to create that, or you're starting to continue and extend that surround sound effect. When they book the call, the morning of the call, it's within 72 hours, send them a message. This should be templated out for you to grab, make small modifications to, and send without much thought. Again, you might be overthinking this. So with your next prospect, send the message out and then put this in a place where you can easily grab it and send it to your next call booking appointment. What that might sound like is, yo, Jared, just confirming my appointment for the day and saw that we're booked in for 11 a.m. PST, parentheses, 1 p.m. EST, period. Looking forward to it. End of it. Looking forward to it. Will you be good to go at that time? Something like that. Also, an hour before. Jared, looking forward to our appointment in an hour. I'll be dropping in the Zoom link here into the text message, so be on the lookout. Send. And do that an hour before. And do what you like. In order to get that right, put these communication times in your calendar when someone books, and then also create a little checklist in your GetBookedCRM that you can always go and copy and grab and put it onto that prospect. That is your, once they book a call, here's what's going to happen. You're going to send them a text. You're going to hit them with the morning of. You're going to hit them the morning before. Here's your follow-up afterwards. Here's all the things that you do so that you don't miss a beat. And by doing this, you're going to increase the odds you get the client. Thing number 3, you need to up the communication. Fourth is about lowering the barrier of entry to your call. If I am going to go and book a call with you, but I can already see it's going to take an hour or 90 minutes, that could be a reason why I don't book with you. If you put sales call on it, that could be a reason I don't book with you. And so part of getting people to book more calls with you and getting them to show up is lowering the barrier of entry. So If you have been coaching for over a year and you're doing a one call close, meaning someone books and you're going to try to close them right on that call, something that you can add in and layer in is doing an initial call before that longer call. So this is a little bit of a filter, because what can happen is when a prospect books a call and it's for 45 minutes and you show up, they may not have a buying intent. They might not have the problem that you can solve. They may not have the money to invest in themselves, and you don't discover that until the end of the call. So what you can do is install a fit call in between there. So instead of offering immediately a 45-minute call, you're going to change that to 15 minutes, keep all of the questions and everything else the same. But this call is going to be a little bit more about you. What you are going to do on that call, it's going to be lightning fast. Think about 15 minutes. That's pretty easy to say yes to. In 15 minutes, we're going to discover what your biggest opportunity is, and then you're going to leave knowing exactly what to do next. And so I don't have enough time here. Maybe in a future episode, if you guys are curious, we could talk about what to do on this initial 15-minute. This is more of actual discovery. This is more of discovering if I'm a fit to help you type of call. I can tell you how to open it and how to do the whole thing. But in that 15 minutes, it's really hard to make a sale, and your prospects will know that. So this 15-minute call, it's just an initial thing. And so all you have to change is how long the appointment is in your Calendly or in your system, and turn it to 15 minutes. You're going to have to ask your questions a little bit faster. So you want to ask your most important 5 or 6 questions that allow for you to understand if you can even help them. This will save you from getting on a 45, 50 hour long call, 45, 50 minute hour long call with someone who's not a fit at all, culturally, emotionally, financially, or even having the problem that you can help them to solve. So I like to do this. It makes it way easier for people to say yes. It lowers the barrier, and it's under the context that if I can help you, I'll tell you exactly how everything works and what to do next, which is to book a call within the next 72 hours to pick a time where we're going to actually sit down, we're going to make a plan together, and I'm going to tell you where to go if you want to fix all of these things. That's pretty close to the exact verbiage. That's a little below the line, a little backstage, but that's how that would look and sound. Is in these 15 minutes, you're going to walk away with a plan, walk away with resources. You're going to know your number one opportunity, and you'll know what to do next. Thing number 4, lower the barrier. If you, like I said, this is more for you who've been coaching over 6 months, over a year, and you're getting some clients consistently, at least 1 or 2. In doing this, if you have a lot of calls booked, some of you, your eyebrows just went up because you have a lot of sales calls, but you also have a lot of prospects that aren't a fit. This will help you weed them out and not feel bad about it. So in 15 minutes, you're going to work out if now is the time or if not now is the time, and you need to get them resources into your group, onto your email list to nurture them and to get them ready for your help. This will also give you more intel and allow for you to see things from a different perspective, and allow for you to create other resources and other pieces of your program that can help these people who aren't yet ready for you, if that's the right next step. Don't get distracted or take away from helping your clients with what you do right now. Thing number 5, if you've been getting value from this show, scroll down an Apple Podcast, leave me an honest rating and review if you've been loving it. Screenshot this, post it to your story, tag me at What Up Jeremy. Would love to share you out to my audience, and also just give you a big shout out and a big hello as well. Those things help a lot to help us to be discovered by even more amazing people just like you. Thing number 5 is about sweetening the deal. So when you think about someone who books a call with you, I want for you to think about it like they just invested $10,000. Imagine if you treated your appointment funnel and your appointment system like someone bought a paid product, and you put as much care and love and energy into it as you do for your paid stuff. This is one of the things, guys, going above and beyond, that most coaches will not do. I know that you listening right now are one of those people who care about what you help your audience with. When you do things like this, like sweeten the deal and make this feel like something that they should have paid for, this is now going to get your prospects wondering, wow, what happens when I actually invest? And when they're thinking like that, like the deal's done. If they have the money, the deal's done, unless you blow it or say something stupid or go off script or you talk yourself out of the sale. So all of these tips, when you combine them, are going to help you increase your close rate. And not any single one of these is going to change the game for you, but every single one of these layered on, and just adding 1 or 2 of these on will change your game. So don't overwhelm yourself with adding all 5 of them. But when you add these on and you're tracking and measuring how many calls you're booking, how many show up, and then how many become clients, now you have the recipe to know where you need to tweak. So if you're booking calls but not getting the client, take these 5 tips into consideration and start layering these on so you can test and tweak results. Again, you have to keep availability to 72 hours or less. Make it sexy by putting a name on it that's aligned with the problems that your target market is experiencing. Up your communication game when they book so you have more points of contact, and so that you can kind of get a feeling for earlier on if they're going to ghost you or not, or if this is like a solid thing to be adding into your pipeline and adjusting your numbers and your expectations around. Fourth, lower the barrier of entry. You can do this by, instead of booking it for an hour, make it for 15 minutes and make it just about if you can help them versus we're going to talk about working together. Make this an easier yes for them to take that next step with, and you will find yourself on the other end of more sales calls. And lastly, sweeten the deal. When them booking a call with you and following through with it and playing full out feels like a product that they should have paid for, they're going to be wondering what is going to happen when they actually invest in themselves and sign up with you. And they're going to have gotten so much value already, but not know how to implement on it when this is done right, that they're going to have no other thing to say besides, well, I'd be stupid if I didn't join you, right? And when you do that, that's like that right there is the recipe for getting prospects to be closing you. And so much in alignment with my mindset of getting the prospects to chase you because you're the prize, you have the goods. Now they're going to be showing up to that second call a little bit more on time, better postured, better environment, less sound going on around them, treating it more seriously and actually playing full out. So these are my tips for how to increase the show up rate with your sales call. I'm curious which one of these was a little bit of a reminder for you. Which one of these are you going to go and actually implement now? Send me a DM over on Instagram to let me know, and would love to give you even maybe some more tips based upon what direction you are headed. Let's start that over. In the next episode of Client by Client, we're talking about follow-up. We're going to have an in-depth conversation together about how to level up your follow-up game, what to do, what not to do, so that your follow-up pulls you even more clients and so that you have more opportunities every single week to close prospects into your coaching program. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline conversations through Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and your email inbox? Well, you're losing a lot of leads in the cracks and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. To get your free copy now, all you have to do is message me CRM on Instagram, and not only will you be able to get leads, you'll be able to close them in half the time. Again, just message me or drop the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. We've got almost 1,000 coaches over in the Leverage Coach community, where I share resources to help you grow your online business, things I find helpful for growing mine, and where you can get around other coaches who are just a step ahead, at the same step, or a small baby step behind you. For your free invitation, drop me the word group over on Instagram or wherever you're getting this podcast. Last, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting 15K worth of new clients or doubling your online client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But finding the right people is important to me. So this is only for you. If you're a relationship-focused coach who always puts a person ahead of the money, you've been coaching for at least 1 year, you'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads, you have at least 300 friends on a social media platform, group, or email list, you are willing to take bold action because you know your success. You are willing to take bold action because you know your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram icon, and go into the search and look for @WhatUpJeremy. When you do that, you're gonna hit the. I'm gonna start that all over. That's way too much. If that's you, coaches, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap on Instagram and search @WhatUpJeremy. Tap that message button and send me the words case study. When you do that, I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program. I'll talk with you about when you do that, I'll let you know what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program and how we're already helping other students to crush it with my curriculum, like Juan, who's set up to have a 65K month in August. And we'll also identify what part of the program will likely have the highest impact the soonest in your online business. All you have to do is message me the words case study on Instagram now @WhatUpJeremy. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. See you in the next one. Cheers. All right, team. Happy Monday. Go enjoy it. See you guys tomorrow with another.